Heat makers, crack music.
If you ain't got the dough, then
The Yankees also made an offer to free agent pitcher, the reigning and defending National League Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell, and that was rumored to be 5 years, $150 million. And I think that is now that offer is now 2 weeks old, and there has been no other offer that we know of to be given to Blake Snell. We are now 21 days, so we are Paul O'Neill days, we are Roberto Clemente days away from pitchers and catchers, and we still have some pretty big fish in terms of free agents still on the board. And so I know that when we talk offline here, we have been under the impression that the Yankees might be done. But Brian Cashman on MLB.com said, hold your horses, not so fast.
So we're going to be open-minded to ways to improve the team. Obviously, it's got to fit within our structure. And so is that a rotation piece? Is that bullpen piece? Is that, anything we can adjust with the position player group? So we're still talking to clubs about trades. We're talking to agents about players, but we also like what we've got, like what we've done thus far regardless. We lived through a tough experience last year with the way the season played out, with injuries, underperformance, and not qualifying at the very least for the playoffs. And so I think our guys are all hungry to get back at it and put 23 behind us and put a better taste in everybody's mouth with the 24.
Hey, yo.
We're having a lot of conversation from the trade front as well as the free agent market. We certainly, are excited by, the return of Clay Holmes, and Loizaga is voluntarily reported early as well. So he's now in Tampa, and obviously getting, Tommy Kahnle back, who's doing extremely well in his program. We acquired, Victor Gonzalez from the Dodgers in a small deal. So we're obviously recreating and repurposing our pen right now. And, Ian Hamilton's coming back. And so ultimately, there's an addition of Cody Morris along with Ron Marinaccio, who's been here. So along with some of the young guns that are coming up through the system. So we'd like to add from the outside if we can to that. But we definitely have pieces in play that Aaron Boone can play with right now.
All right, so there you have it. The Yankees are still in play. They are still engaging with the trade market, and they are still having conversations with the free agents that are still available. So obviously, look, the Yankees they know that they leaked their offer to Blake Snell, the 5 years, 150. Nobody has beat that. Monty, who has been rumored to be hot and heavy with the Rangers, Jordan Montgomery, he has not signed. Cody Bellinger has not signed. Hector Neris has not signed. He has also been linked to the Yankees, rumored to be looking for a 1 or 2 year deal worth 10 to 12 million per. So I want to throw this to Adi and then to Juan. Can the Yankees be in play for any one of these? And then, let's ask you that. Of the remaining free agents, do you believe Cashman that he's still in play? And who do you think he is in play with?
I mean, yeah, I think Cashman is always wheeling and dealing. So I think that realistically, I think it'll be a starter. So I think it might be Snell. Give him, cut that deal that we first offered him down, knowing that we're the only ones that offered him that. Maybe less years, a little bit more money annually, and, see what he can do there. But I think the fact that Cashman is sitting on I like my team the way it is right now, but don't count me out on any deals that are going on. So I like that.
Yeah, and I mean that's his job, right? He needs to make sure that he's staying engaged at all times. So it doesn't surprise me that he says that. What do you think, Juan? Do you think he's just paying lip service, or is he truly still engaging with the current crop of free agents that are still out there?
I mean, I think he's playing it smart. He's telling them that we're happy with what we got. So if we don't do anything else,
And he said
we'll
that
be okay.
explicitly, but yeah.
Yeah, like we happy with what we got. If we don't do anything else, we're fine. We have a championship caliber team, and if we can make the moves at the trade deadline if needed. But he ain't gonna be dumb either. Like if the price is right, then I feel like they'll be in it. Basically, we're not gonna overpay for any pieces that are available. So like how Ali just mentioned, like with Snell, like like we're the only team that offered him anything. 5 years, 150. No one has offered anything close, anything at all. So
Anything at all.
if no one offers anything or like it drops, maybe they just offer him a two-year deal or 1 year deal with
So-
like 40 million just to like get him on a 1 year deal, and then like that'll be the right option. What happened?
No, look, keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, the only other thing that I feel like they would do is maybe add like a bullpen arm. But like I feel like the Yankees are great with finding the diamonds in the rough on that end. So like if we add a bullpen arm, it's not going to be anyone that's like high caliber or like
it's not going to be nearest for 12 million a pop.
I think maybe Wandy or like Hader just came off the board. He signed with Houston. But like that, like I feel like it'll be somebody where they're just a spot, like an inning eater or something like that, where we have enough with what we got. But if the price is right, we're gonna be in on it, and we're gonna take advantage of the market, and like that's how I feel like it's gonna play.
So, and I feel like the longer this plays out, and so like I mentioned, we are 21 days. Shout out, we got 8 people back up in the live. Look at the numbers. The numbers is good. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Don't make that rare. We want to see you here. We really appreciate y'all tapping in. But in terms of the longer that this plays out and the closer that we get, especially for pitchers, I feel like if you're a pitcher, and you're switching teams, you want to know where your new team is going to be before pitchers and catchers report, right? Like you want to be able to get into your routine, get your home, and get everything going. And so for a guy like Snell, does the fact that, hey, I really want a 7-year, $210 million deal, but nobody's biting. Right now, I'm at 5 years, 150, which is 30 million per. How do you save face if you're Scott Boras, right? Because Scott Boras obviously has been promising his guy the world. Hey, we're gonna hold out as long as we can, but the money is going to be there. The years are going to be there. Well, look, the years may not be there this year, but I think the money is there. And so how likely would it be, right? And again, the closer we get to spring training, I think the more likely it becomes where it's like, hey, you know what? Let's save face. Let's do a Correa or a Trevor Bauer type short-term high AAV deal. And I'm thinking, something like 2 years, 66 to 70 million, right? For Snell, right, which is 33 to 35. So he gets a little bit of a bump from the 30 average annual that he would have gotten over the 5 years, right? So that's a win. That helps Scott Boras save face. And he gets an opt-out after that first year. So it's essentially a 1-year, $33 million team and $33 million deal. You come to New York, you have a great year, you finish top 3 in the Cy Young. As we know, you're capable, and now you have a Cy Young. Maybe you might even have back-to-back Cy Young awards in your pocket, and you're a year older, but you can now hit the free agent market again. Who knows? Maybe then you get your long-term high AAV combination deal. But I think the closer we get to spring training, the idea of a 1 to 2 year creative high AAV deal for a guy like Snell makes sense. For me, Blake Snell makes all the sense in the world for the 2024 New York Yankees, even at a hefty $33 to $35 million. He makes sense for the 2024 New York Yankees. It's the 2026, 27, 28 New York Yankees that I think everybody had questions about. $30 million, do you still want a guy 5 years? But if you could get Snell on a respectable AAV, 1 year, call it a 2 year, but give him the opt out. I think Boras might be able to save some face, and it may curry some good favor with Boras. Hey, we looked out for you. Hey, when Soto comes around, remember we did you this little favor. We don't got you looking crazy with your client. And it also helps strengthen the Yankees in two ways. I'm going to tell you how. It strengthens the Yankees, obviously, the rotation. Duh, right? But now think about what it does, the domino effect. Now what it does is you slide Snell into that 2 hole. So now everybody else comes back down the peg. So you got Rodon 3, you got Stroman 4, and now you got Cortez 5, which frees up Clark Schmidt to now play the role of 2023 Michael King in that bullpen, which I think was a phenomenal piece that we're not talking about the fact that we're going to miss Kinger coming in, when a guy like Snell throws 5 innings, 5 and a third, you got a guy that could come in that 5th inning and take you, through the 7th. A guy like Schmidt, if you don't got to use him as your 5th starter, you could put him in the bullpen, and now you've strengthened your team in 2 separate areas. So Blake Snell makes a hell of a lot of sense on a short-term deal for the New York Yankees. He makes all the sense in the world for the 2024 New York Yankees.
No, I agree. Like that's the same way. Like what you just said is how like we all three, I feel like we agree on it and we feel about it. Like on the short term, like it's great to have him for that price range, and though like maybe 2 years, 3 years max. But like so like that, you give him the 2 opt-outs or whatever, and you give him a higher AAV, and then like that he could just leave, and then we can get someone else, just because the market is not favorable for him. And like that, it's a win-win for both of us. Maybe he gets more wins this year pitching at the Yankee Stadium, and like he could get 16, 17 wins, and then maybe a 3 ERA, and it's like, oh shit, like now they could get that long-term deal that he's looking for. So I think that's great. And then the depth is the most important thing, because you can never have too much pitching because someone almost always gets hurt. Like it's always like some shit going on. And then with Schmidt, he could be like the spot starter where you need him. If you need to give Cortez a rest, Rondon didn't pitch at all last year, so he can't pitch 200 innings. So like that, you pitch Schmidt in there to do spot starts for them, and then like right there you have your inning eaters with Cole and Stroman, and then you have Schmidt to cover in for the 3 lefties because they don't pitch. They're not as long to pitch into the games.
And Adi, I think having a guy that is stretched out, that can come in and give you 2 1/3, 3 innings, and be that bridge from the middle innings to your late inning high leverage guy is super important. Kind of that fireman. So if they could get that done, I think that helps the Yankees in 2 ways.
Yeah, that was Brito. We lost Brito in the same trade for Soto, so that's what Brito did.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I think it would be a good match, and like you said, we're saving face. We're looking like we're out there hunting where we can. Boras is in our good graces in that sense. Everyone's happy. Like Snell doesn't have to be coaching third base for a travel baseball team in Seattle right now, so he could be heading out to Tampa.
That's it. And he's boys with Judge and Soto, from what I read. He's boys with Judge and Soto. So that seems like a fit. And then the other guy that seems like, and I think the other guy that I think the short-term high AAV probably makes a bit more sense for because he's a bit younger is Bellinger. Whether it's the Yankees or somebody else. I think, well, I'm not saying for the Yankees. I'm saying Bellinger on a short-term high AAV deal might be something that he needs to look into because his market hasn't developed and he wants a $200 million deal and he's not getting it. And so a 1-year high AAV with an opt-out, I think is something that he should be looking into, whether it's with the Yankees or not, but be looking into because that will then, now he can have back-to-back years and he'll still hit free agency before he's 30. So I think he should be open to that. But all right, so I think we're all in lockstep. If we can get Snell, especially if we can get him on that shorter term deal, I think we should be all over that, like the single guy at 3 a.m. last call at the bar. I think we should be all over that.
But I think it goes down to Boras though, because the 4 biggest free agents, they're all Boras clients. Like the 2 pitchers, Snell and Monty, they're Boras, and Belly and Chapman, Matt Chapman, they're Boras as well. So it's like once
and
those
they're all
guys
unemployed.
Yeah. So like once they sign, like that kind of like sets the ripple effect for everyone else to sign, but it's based on that. So like, Boras waits the last minute to get these signs to try to get that bread out. But, like it's affecting the rest of the market. Luckily, we've handled our side of it and got our needs.
So we have leverage.
Yeah.
Yep. So the Yankees have leverage, and if they need to, they could always punt to the All-Star break and say, "Hey, I think we're good enough first half. Let's see where we are, and if we need to make a move, we've got trade chips to make a move at the All-Star break." Boras, you are not going to hold us hostage here. So I think Yankees are in a good spot. So let's see what happens. I'll be interested to see what happens in these next 3 weeks. But I imagine that Snell and Monty, but especially Snell, wants to sign ASAP. Because you're switching teams, you want to get there before pitchers and catchers. Pitchers and catchers is 21 days away. Can't believe it. Baseball is here,
back.
Baby.
It's getting there.
Let's go. All righty.